take the ride. For more fun, you better subscribe. You never won't miss the vibe. Scrolling through my feed, looking for a good time. Hatcher on YouTube, dropping truth and rhyme. Passion for magic, he's playing the cards right. Live stream so funny, keeping us up all night. Waking up early, smelling bacon in the air. Gotta start the day with a savory affair. Evening rolls around, time to chill and unwind. Tune in for chill streams, where relaxation you'll find. Come hang out, let's battle for Lord of the Board. Hatcher's got the insights, he's got us all aboard. In the world of magic, the gathering, he's a master and a guide. So let's talk MTG and take the ride. So let's talk MTG and take the ride. For more fun, you better subscribe. You never want to miss the vibe. Hatcher is the master of MTG. Oh, live streams and videos are never a bore. Streams are fun, super chaotic. You'll be back as it's all hypnotic. Come hang out, let's battle for Lord of the Board. Hatcher's got the insights, he's got us all on board. In the world of magic, the gathering, he's a master and a guide. So let's talk MTG and take the ride. For more fun, you better subscribe. You never won't miss the vibe.
Always doing it sunny side up. It's the hen. What up, my friends? How you doing? We're here today to talk about the crazy high-level artists calling out Wizards and Hasbro over their awful practices. You know what I'm talking about. If you watched my Historian video today, we're going to look at the Donato, his entire lengthy call out of Wizards of the Coast. That's what we're doing tonight. So, first things first, I'm going to share the live stream link in the Discord, and then we'll do our hellos, and we will go from there. All right. Okay, that's good. There we go. And a little bit of my tea. Okay, what up? Gossett, Jess, Eng, Millmaster, Dragon, Boone, Zircon, Yamagoro, Error, Joe, Sandwich, Kensuke, Fisher, Gerthulu, who else we got in here? Teferi, Farky, Keebler, Shelton, Hurst, Larry, Kenny, Westby, Jojo, Ness, Tringus, Some. All right, I think I got everybody. Oh, no, there's Towns. What up, Towns? What's going downs? Okay. All right, so I'm going to give it a few minutes just because this is a live stream and it takes a little while for the notifications to go out and all that kind of stuff. That way, anybody who wants to be here for the beginning can be here for the beginning. The live stream will be available to watch afterwards. So if somebody comes in later, they can watch it at their leisure. But still, it feels like the right way to do things. What up, Legendary? Actually, you know what? Since we're here and we've got a little bit of time, let's watch the RoboCop Hatcher Talks trailer because I love it. It's hilarious. At Hatcher Movie Talks, we pride ourselves on two things. Respecting the fans. No, don't tell us in the comments. Shut up. I don't need to hear if you think I'm wrong. Shut up. And if you don't like it, I don't care. And always being 100% accurate. Yes, because I don't remember anything from number 3. When you said the hacker, when you said the hacker kid, I was just like, hacker kid.
In the first one?
Yeah, that was the first one. Right?
I honestly don't know.
Okay. Hatcher Movie Talks. Subscribe now. You have 20 seconds to comply. What up, Rockhound? What up, Gianna, with the membership message saying hiya, everybody. Hiya to you. Hello to you. What up, Potts? How's it going? Fisher, you got a big weekend planned, going on vacation and gonna have lunch with Dan Scott on Saturday. Have fun. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. That should be a good time. All right. I think that is a suitable amount of time to have waited before switching over. So let's take a look. Let us take a look at the actual. I'm going to put it up on the screen over on the side. All right. So it should be right. Oh, hold on. Okay, good. No, everything's where it's supposed to be. So if I go like this, all right. Where do we start? Hold on, I gotta find the starting spot. Yeah, okay, this is it. This is the first. This is the first one. Because there's three different posts that he has made, and they are all both of decent length. All right. Kensuke, you complied. Thanks for subscribing to the Hatcher Movie Talks channel, buddy. Okay, so Donato Giancola has posted multiple things on this issue. We are going to go through all of it. All right? So it says, you should be ashamed, Wizards of the Coast. These past 6 months, I've been quiet on the issue that follows, an infringement against my work by Wizards of the Coast concerning the Magic the Gathering card Trouble in Pairs. So if you weren't around for that somehow and don't know what that's referencing, Trouble in Pairs is a card that actually stole artwork from a number of different artists, Donato being one of them. So he literally basically reached a settlement with them. That's what it says next. It says, where was it? An infringement against my work by Wizards of the Coast concerning the Magic the Gathering card Trouble in Pairs from the Murders at Karlov Manor set released on March 2024. My lawyer and I were finally able to reach a settlement with Wizards in September, which would put this infringement issue behind us. My silence in commenting on a legal issue as it was resolved showed my good faith towards my ex-client. That's reasonable. Apparently, Wizards of the Coast would rather continue infringing upon and damaging my reputation in the commercial illustration marketplace. It's come to light that a painting I created as an educational demonstration in oil painting and conceptual themes of metal has been used by Wizards and Marvel without my permission within the style guide for Wizards' recent Universe Beyond Marvel card set. This is the very set and the very character that I refused to work on because Wizards would not negotiate in good faith and agree to modify their contract with 7 simple words clarifying a legal phrase. I rejected the contract. So instead of partnering with me to work on the set in an official capacity, I am now unwillingly forced to be a part of professional commercial enterprise I professionally and morally object to. I am almost beyond words. Really, Wizards of the Coast? Really? So, he's almost beyond words, but thankfully not completely beyond words. It was this very contractual issue over Wizards' Universe Beyond Marvel set, along with other ongoing issues around compensation, which finally convinced me... Finally convinced me to stop working on new projects for Wizards back in November of 2023. Their contracts, compensation, and artist relations had become far too exploitative. I've not created a single new Magic card in nearly a year, nor do I foresee doing so again in the future, as I reject the contractual and compensation structures Wizards now offers. Marvel was already on my exploitation list, dating back to 2024, when they refused to add a clause in their contract which would allow me to sell prints of Iron Man covers. I intended to create prints to recoup my labor costs from the very low fees they were offering for the commission. Marvel and Upper Deck doubled down again on financial and artistic exploitation when they approached me in 2019 for their Marvel Masterpieces set with an even more outrageous contract. Marvel's legal team both times refused to modify the contract to an acceptable and reasonable solution, so I refused to work for them twice, and I have not done so since. 3 strikes and you're out. These contractual issues with Marvel have been a defining example I refer to as corporate exploitative practices in all the classes and lectures I've given over the past 20 years as a professional in the illustration marketplace. It seems I now need to add Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro to that infamous list. So Wizards, Hasbro, Marvel, all going to be on the list that he uses to teach upcoming artists about how they're getting taken advantage of. It continues. I've used my voice for 32 years to build community with the artists and professionals within the science fiction and fantasy genres. This voice has educated, mentored, and inspired new generations of artists in the thousands. And like for real, I have genuinely, myself, run into different artists at different conventions who specifically like reference Donato as an inspiration for them or just a straight up like direct mentor. So this isn't him just talking nonsense, right? This is genuinely real. So hold on, I can just read the rest on the next one here. It says, I've taught classes at the School of Visual Arts for 25 years. I've taught and lectured at Syracuse University, the Smart School, the Illustration Masterclass, Laguna College of Art and Design, Pratt Institute, San Diego Comic-Con, Gen Con, the World Science Fiction Convention, and even Magic the Gathering sponsored events and tournaments throughout these 32 years. I refuse to be silenced. I refuse to be quiet when critical issues for so many freelancers are at stake. Since 1996, nearly the entire time I've been working as a freelance illustrator, I have created over 177 cards for the game Magic the Gathering. From my very first commission, Amber Prison, to recent cards like Demonic Tutor and Sheldon Menery's portrait on Inkshield. I've poured my passion for craft and love of the fantasy and science fiction genre into these artworks. I've created some of the greatest pieces of art in my portfolio for this company, celebrating the game with players and art collectors, and building a community of support and respect with the artists of this incredibly inspirational genre. And honestly, I don't feel like anything he's saying is hyperbolic. It genuinely feels accurate to me. It continues. I'm stunned by what this company has become. I am disgusted. The recent mismanagement of the Magic the Gathering brand by Hasbro has led to stressed and overworked Wizard staff, freelance artists being underpaid for their highly complex, labor-intensive work-for-hire illustrations, and the oversaturation of the card market with product. This ongoing mismanagement has created an environment where costly, poor decisions pass through unchecked in the commissioning process, damaging the brand, diluting players' engagement with the product, and exposing Wizards of the Coast to significant legal risk. The man has a way with words. It is with these issues in mind that I place the full responsibility of this recent infringement of my work on the card Trouble in Pairs and the style guide infringement on the shoulders of Wizards of the Coast's corporate and legal management. This is the fourth such infringement in as many years, reflecting what is obviously a systemic issue within both Wizards of the Coast and parent company Hasbro. Low upfront commission fees paid to freelance illustrators deter established professional illustrators from working with Wizards of the Coast and disincentivizes commissioned artists from investing high-quality labor in their projects for Magic the Gathering. Overall, these low fees reverse the standards Wizards expects of its commissioning artists through Wizards' own recommended guidelines. I very much enjoy the fact that he's not just angry, right? He's angry, but he's not just angry. He is articulating how he has been wronged, and he's articulating how these choices actually damage the company and are genuinely short-sighted. This is a persuasive argument that he makes. As Wizards grew from a small creative-controlled company to the massive multi-billion-dollar critical financial heart of Hasbro, I love that description. The massive multi-billion-dollar critical financial heart of Hasbro. That I specifically ended up quoting in my video because I just love the way it's worded. It's fantastic. So, that just hold on. Let me have a sip of tea and then reorient because I totally lost my place here. Okay. Where is it? Where did it go? Okay, there it is. As Wizards grew from a small creative-controlled company to the massive multi-billion-dollar critical financial heart of Hasbro, did they support their artist community? No. Instead, they managed to drastically lower the rates they paid their artists, damaging the artistic resources they rely upon. Although Wizards finally did raise their base rate in the middle of 2023, it is far, far short of the equivalent inflationary and labor-adjusted rate needed to compensate artists for such complex style-guided artworks. To add insult to injury, Wizards has recently begun to deny artists access to aftermarket products and secondary sales of their artwork, further decreasing the incentives for artists to produce their best work for Wizards products and to leverage sales to raise their modest standards of living. This is a big one. This is a big one because they could sell the actual art, they could sell prints, they could sell playmats, they could sell the artist proofs. There was a number of additional things that came along with doing Magic art that made it more financially viable. The hardworking art directorial staff of Wizards, who I have engaged with and respected during the commissioning process through the years, deserves better. The shareholders of Hasbro deserve better. The artist community deserves better. And most importantly, the players, the true financial supporters of the game of Magic the Gathering, deserve far, far better. You should be ashamed, Wizards of the Coast. This is fantastic. The man has done a fantastic job of elucidating on the actual situation and framing it in a way how it benefits everybody to do things properly, right? He even roped in the shareholders as getting hosed because it's true. If Wizards of the Coast doesn't take the long-term health of the game into account and only goes for short-term gains, then this doesn't benefit the shareholders in any real measurable way, right? So that was the first of 3 posts that he made. I've got all 3. So we're going to move into the second one here in a moment. And I'm going to have to resize it because each of these different batches will be different sizes on the screen. So let me make this one a little larger for you guys. Just a tad bit larger. Okay, there we go. That's good. That's good. Okay, so this is a follow-up post he made, and it says, this post is to clarify some issues from my previous statement regarding Wizards of the Coast's second infringement on my work in this past year. Due to NDA, non-disclosure agreements, I have signed, I need to be careful regarding what details I can share. The 7 words I referred to, which I asked Wizards to add to the contract, were, the artist owns the physical original art. This was to clarify the intent of what the art director was communicating to me. The contract held loopholes contradicting this statement, which allowed Marvel to claim ownership of the art at any time. All I was asking was for Wizards to state in the contract what they were stating in emails. Nothing more. 7 words. They refused to make the change. I refused to sign the contract. Secondly, an internal document digitally published and shared with vendors by a for-profit public company is subject to all forms of copyright legalities and protections. Just because a document is published internally does not disavow it from criminal violations of copyright. Lastly, I recognize I do not own the trademarked likeness of characters like Iron Man, but Wizards use the entirety of my painted image within a style guide, including the background, which is the majority of the image, and that background, which is 100% my creation. The fact that Wizards moved forward with including an image of mine without permission within a style guide and for a set and character I explicitly declined to work upon has been the most professional insult I've been subjected to in my 32 years as an illustrator. So, I mean, bro, obviously, this would be infuriating. You went to Donato's store and made a small purchase. He's got some cool prints available. Well, cheers to you, bro. Thanks for supporting him. Because, yeah, bro, this is crazy nonsense. And on top of that, there's more. Again, I will need to resize this so you guys can see it better. So, whoop. Whoop. All right, there we go. Okay, so here is the final thing that he posted. It says pricing, aftermarket, and secondary market artist compensation. This is part of the artist wait, is this? Okay, yeah, no, I've got it in the right order. Just wanted to make sure I don't have this in the wrong order. Okay? So, this is part of artist relations Wizards of the Coast is not going to like to talk about in public. This is why laid-off employees need to sign non-disclosure agreements to receive severance packages. Corporations do not like public facts. Since I will likely never work for Wizards again, and I've already stopped accepting new commissions from them for over a year now, I feel the need to share all of this factual, public information to drive the conversation regarding compensation into the light and force Wizards to engage in change for those artists, digital and traditional, who still rely upon Wizards as an income source. Let's start at the beginning. The fee for my very first Magic card back in 1996 was $1,000. That was modestly good pay for small work. Work for hire spot illustration artwork where the artist had a large creative control in the process. Over the years, I continued to work with new commissions from Wizards, even as the art management of the content grew with heavily directed style guides, and the basic fee stayed the same. I did my best to deliver exceptional high-quality oil paintings at those fees, including illustrations like Cartographer, Mirari, the 7th edition Shivan Dragon, and the suite of characters for Ravnica, Razia, Tolsimir, Zadok, Agris, and the Sisters. Stepping forwards 2 decades, the fee for one of my artworks in a recent set from Magic's Murders at Karlov Manor, commissioned in 2023, was also $1,000. 27 years and not a cent raised from my base rate. Or, when accounting for inflation, the fee is actually far lower, at $516 in relative dollar value comparison. In acknowledgement, Wizards has raised their base rate to a whopping $1,250 in 2024. Thanks, Wizards. Why would someone work for a client who did not raise their pay after 27 years? I've asked that question of myself many times. Mostly, it was just that I did not depend on Wizards as a primary client, taking just a card commission here and there as desired. The connection to the game and fans was part of the deal to accept low pay. I actually stopped working for Wizards back in 2010 over these exploitatively low fee issues. I concentrated my energies on many other professional projects, but I returned to accept new commissions from Wizards in 2017. Why? You can't see the why, but it's right above this. Why did he return in 2017 is the question. First, two of my artist friends and mentorees had moved into positions at Wizards as art directors. They reached out to me, and I wanted to help them create great art for the game of Magic. We're all part of an artistic community. Secondly, I enjoy making high-quality, labor-intensive oil paintings for my projects, and the art directors knew the growing secondary aftermarket for Magic art was a way I could get paid for my quality work, even if the initial commission fee did not justify the labor. And as an aside here, Magic the Gathering artwork, the secondary market for that did explode in recent years, and they go for a lot more money now. So it is a genuine incentive to return. So it says, I returned not to work for Wizards' low fees, but to stay connected to the community and aftermarket associated with Magic. Convention appearances, sales of original art, signing artist proofs, cards, and playmats to fans, players, art collectors, and other artists all connected to Magic. I am a fan of this genre. The private secondary original art market for Magic the Gathering card illustration has seen tremendous growth over the past 2 decades. From practically giving away Magic art back in the late 1990s for a couple $100s, full color finished art cards can now sell from $2,000 to $10,000 and up. Sketches sell for $300 to $800 and more. And this is true. I've seen this in the art group. So these numbers fall in line with what I've seen with my own eyes. Hold on. Fucking dying here. Whew. The only way for me and many other artists to bring an exceptionally high degree of craft to the art at the pay scale Wizards offered was to recapture that invested labor in the secondary aftermarket connected to private collectors and fans. It is this aftermarket which allows Magic artists to make a modest living, knowing that their financial recoupment existed beyond Wizards of the Coast's meager initial fees. The secondary aftermarket has helped fuel the creative energies of artists and allowed them to invest tremendous labor and quality in an extremely low-paid commission. Until it didn't. Recent Magic the Gathering set releases in their Universe Beyond theme expansions appear to prohibit the sale and creation of any physical art and removes all secondary aftermarket sales. No original art, no artist proofs, no prints, no playmats, no repainted interpretations, no convention event sketches of any kind for all of the commissioned images. All commissioned art was to be expressly and purely digitally executed. The initial low work for hire fee was the only compensation. Using a conservative estimate, Wizards removed secondary aftermarket sales of over $3 million from artists working on the Universe Beyond Lord of the Rings set. Thank you for supporting your artists, Wizards. All right, and it continues. Where is it? This digital-only art requirement is in no way an industry standard for commercially commissioned artists. Wizards has introduced a new level of contractual obligations, which specifically targets to destroy the private, artist-based secondary aftermarket sales, which was directly benefiting the Magic artist, fan, and collector community. Why? I have no reasonable assessments. The aftermarket has zero impact on the initial sales of the game and product to the millions of players worldwide in 10 languages. In fact, the aftermarket greatly benefits the game through play interactions with artists at events, the collecting and signing of cards, the public display and excitement of original art in game shops around the world, and the use of original art by Wizards itself as prizes to players. More importantly, the aftermarket provided a broad incentive for artists to vest labor and quality into the products they were creating for Magic. This removal of incentive means that Wizards is guaranteed that the quality of art they receive for these sets will diminish, likely impacting sales negatively. That is absolutely true. If you're not being paid very much, how much effort are you going to put in, right? If you get paid the minimum, you will work the minimum. You will find corners to cut. You will find workarounds. You just won't care as much, ultimately, right? So, recently Wizards has seemingly thrown traditional artists a scrap from the table with the new Marvel set, allowing them to sell a painting from their commission into the secondary market, but treating digital artists differently with no such offering, it appears. How do you feel, digital artists? Excited to work on that next Universe Beyond set, knowing Wizards contractually thinks less of you as artists? Although these new contractual obligations are only occurring with the Universe Beyond sets, it's not too hard to see them implementing them on standard Magic contracts in the future. Hasbro has stepped up the Universe Beyond to be nearly half of their set releases in the future, sadly looking forward to even more exploitative digital-only contracts and reducing the secondary aftermarket even further. To add gasoline to this fire, Hasbro's current CEO is quoted as welcomely embracing AI art creation and its use on Magic and D&D products. It's not hard to see the leap of a digital-only artist contract being replaced with digital-only AI art now that the CEO has openly stated such a direction. Thank you for supporting, respecting, and valuing your artists, Hasbro. To all the artists working and hoping to work on Magic, I'm sure Wizards will raise the base rate again in 27 years to properly compensate the prompted AI robots. In frustration and sadness for my peers. And it's signed off Donato. So seriously, it takes some guts to step up and call out a huge corporation about this stuff. I have a lot of respect for him doing this. This is an absolutely wild scenario. So that's literally the entirety of all of his statements. And when I go over them, I don't find anything that he is saying to be feeling hyperbolic. I don't feel like anything that he is saying is inaccurate. I think that he's absolutely correct, right? He's standing up for the artists. The artists are getting hosed more and more. And as Wizards seeks to cut corners and cut costs and also ramp up production, we're just going to have lazier and lazier work. The art will be poorer, because people are rushing to meet deadlines. There'll also be more incidences of people just stealing other people's work and shoving it out, because we've seen that with multiple Magic artists where they were stealing other people's works, and how long were they doing it for before they got caught, right? So ultimately, it's a pretty rough situation. And if you appreciate what Donato had to say, you can do the same thing that I believe it was Sum who was in here who said that he literally just purchased something from Donato. You can head on over and buy something straight up from Donato's shop to support him if you so choose to do so, right? So ultimately, I think it's fantastic that he is stepping up to call out this stuff and say as much as he can, obviously NDA notwithstanding. He can't say everything because he's legally signed contracts saying that he won't. But clearly, he is condemning Wizards in a way where they're never going to want to work with him again. Why would they? They really hate being criticized. After they got criticized by their pro players, they were like, yo, we got to like lock our pro players into non-disparagement contracts where they're not allowed to talk smack about us, or we can fine them. That was one of the key defining parts of the contracts for the Arena Pro Tour. It's like, it's embarrassing for them, and they deserve the embarrassment, bro. Habanero, what's up? You walked in and missed the official letter? There's actually three. So I went through all of them in their entirety. And yeah, the live stream will be available afterwards for you to check out at your leisure, bro. Spurl, how am I doing? I'm doing all right, man. If I ever do an audiobook, you're buying it. Well, thanks, man. Closest you can get is going on over to Fantasy Geographic, and I got those lore videos, the stories of magic, right? Yeah, Zircon, that's actually what I said in my historian video earlier, is that Wizards of the Coast probably made a contract with the original IP holders saying, oh, people won't be able to make these reproductions and stuff because then Wizards doesn't have to pay as much in licensing. So they can save a little bit of money, and they don't care if it cuts the legs out from under the artists and takes away the majority of their income, because why would they care? They're Hasbro, and they can just go like this to the artists and say, suck a dick, idiots, right? But ultimately, you're going to lose your best talent. And I imagine that in their arrogance, they don't care, because they're like, yo, we'll just hire other people as a stopgap until we can go fully AI. That's what's going to happen. And if they end up with poorer artwork, that will also just be an incentive for them to lean into AI that much faster, right? So yeah, it's a scumbag move. It's a scumbag move on Wizards of the Coast's part to even agree to contracts like that and to not care about their artists. 100% scummy. 100% scummy. Carly, yep, the best situation would be if artists could maintain their copyrights and get royalties. Wizards of the Coast ain't going for that, obviously. They stopped doing that in the 90s. So they should at least pay a reasonable flat fee, right? When it's like, yo, you can make your money selling the art and all the other stuff, then they get away with the lower fee. But when they remove all that, it's like, so why am I accepting this like super low fee for all the work that you want me to do? They also give these people like no time to work on the artwork. I was speaking with a magic artist at a convention, and he was talking about how Wizards came out of nowhere and gave them no time and was like, we want to do a cycle of these 5 lands and we want to hire you to do it. And he's like, I literally can't create that in that time frame, bro. I can only do 2 at most, right? Like, Wizards has unrealistic expectations. They want you to do it perfectly, super fast, and super cheap, which is an insane combination. When they can't be bothered to improve their card quality, they can't be bothered to pay reasonable fees. It's incredibly frustrating, you know? Flockies, the artist should jump to sorcery. As far as I understand, sorcery is just like getting the rights to pre-existing artwork as opposed to having new artwork created for it, at least for the original base set. I don't know about their new expansion Arthurian Legends or whatever, but as far as I understand, the first set that they made was all pre-existing artwork that they just got the rights to produce on sorcery cards, you know? Habanero, you had a weird moment when you were watching my video today. You had to pause the video for a moment and ask out loud, when does this finally become criminal and they're properly investigated? I mean, they're getting people to sign contracts or whatever, so... I mean, the infringing on people's artwork, like Trouble in Paris, that is illegal. That's why they had to settle with Donato and give him money out of court, right? Wizards is just like, we don't want to go through all the litigation, so we're just going to give you a settlement payment. So Wizards of the Coast is definitely involved with multiple cases of people's art being stolen. And they just pay out because, I mean, ideally they're hoping as well that word doesn't get spread around as much, right? Zircon, there's a ton of new art, even for Alpha. Okay, fair enough. Well, I'm not the sorcery historian, so I'm just saying what I heard. If it turns out they had a bunch of new artwork actually commissioned for them, well, good for them then. Either way, I like it. Sorcery's got a lot of nice artwork, and the actual printing on the cards in terms of the art quality is deep and rich and quite enjoyable. I have some of the Alpha stuff right here, actually. Ferris, you're glad that you jumped over to Flesh and Blood. There are a lot of people jumping over to other card games, and it's understandable. Wizards of the Coast seems to be taking advantage of everybody. Their own employees, artists, the player base. They're exploiting us to get as much money as possible while giving as little in return as possible. And it's pretty aggravating as somebody who's been a Magic fan for 30 years and remembers Summer Magic and how they literally destroyed it all because it was poor quality. And like, well, we can't ship this out to our customers. We can't sell this. It's garbage quality. And then when they had the awful quality around the Ixalan block time, where it was really horrendous, they didn't turn around and go, oh, we've got to reprint and destroy this. They just went, sell it to them. Sell it to them. Card quality hasn't gotten any better. It's gotten worse. And the prices have gotten higher. So Wizards of the Coast is cutting corners on card production and passing the savings on to themselves while passing the cost increases on to us. And it's pretty frustrating. It's pretty frustrating. Habanero, yep. That's it. That's all. That's the only way it'll go. Like, what they're doing isn't legal, but the punishment will always just be them handing over some money, and it will be written off as a part of cost of doing business. And guess what? Those costs are paid by us. Wizards will just go, yeah, we'll write that in as a line item on our budget, legal costs for when we hose people, and then we'll pass those costs on to our consumers. That's it. That's what we pay the increased prices for. When they put out Magic 30, there was a bunch of cards from Magic 30, the reprinting of the reserve list stuff, all of it, where Wizards didn't have new contracts for this stuff. A bunch of them were still basically only the old royalty contracts. And so Wizards went back and got some people to agree to just take a base rate so that they could reprint them. But the people who didn't agree, they just went, we're just going to do it anyways, and just reprinted them. They just reprinted them without having the right to do so and just went, well, we'll just eat whatever legal costs and pass it on to our customers because we're selling it for $1,000 a box anyways. So who cares? It's super frustrating. Cranky, no artist proofs are ridiculous. Yeah, actually, speaking of artist proofs, it's one of my favorite Magic possessions. I keep it up here on the wall in a frame-a-majig. So this is an artist proof zombie token that was sent to me by Bud Cook. And he did a little sketch / painting thing of me as a zombified version, because I made a video talking about a couple of different pieces of artwork that he did and the transition that happened between them chronologically. And he was just like, that's awesome. I would like to send you something. And I did not expect that this is what he would be sending me. But for real, man, that's an artist proof. That's the kind of stuff that can be done with it. So I leave this framed hanging on my wall. Now I got to put the stuff that was back up there. I keep a random little painting that's a throwback from a meme between me and Rogue Deck Builder from a million years ago, and this really old school picture of me from when I was playing Magic back in the 90s. There we go. All right. Ferris, you are correct. It is completely unsustainable. That's the thing, is they don't care about the long term of what's happening with Magic the Gathering. Hasbro needs money now because the company is falling apart. So they're chopping off their fingers to eat them to stay alive. That's basically what's going on. They are cannibalizing themselves to try and survive a bit longer, right? It's unfortunate. Oh, Millmaster! Gift and a Hatcher Stream membership. Thanks, buddy! Vlockies. Oh, Vlockies, you are now a member. And Millmaster, you are the member lord. Thanks for spreading the membership love, brother. Oh, now the camera's gotten a little bit wonky, hasn't it? Hold on, let me fix that. Let me fix that. Always some... Oh, it fixed itself. Well, let's lock it in so it won't do that again. The autofocus can be really annoying. Cameras are so fiddly, bro. So fiddly. Some, as much as you like playing with AI, you know how much work goes into creating art and will support the artists you like by purchasing their products. The sad truth is, AI is the inevitable future. It's going to happen because there's a bunch of people who don't care. They don't care. Yeah, use AI, whatever. There are people who care, like us, who genuinely give a shit. But as time progresses, there'll be fewer and fewer people who care. And a bunch of people who care now will also stop caring. They'll just be worn down by it or just forget or whatever. And then Wizards of the Coast will make the shift over, and that will be the end. And then every once in a while, there'll be like a special secret lair. We actually paid an artist to do this. And then they'll be like, it's $400 for 4 cards. You know, we got to justify our art costs. Normally, we just have to pay Greg to type a sentence in. Greg, type fat ugly lady who has a sword and is mean and fierce and honorable. Okay, here's our newest knight. You know? Oh, man. So we could totally get to the point where AI artwork and AI card design is the norm for Magic the Gathering, right? Larry, you're only sticking around until Final Fantasy comes along? Why? Because you want that Universe Beyond? Well, doesn't that mean that you'll be back when they do another Universe Beyond that you like? And I want to be clear, I'm not saying that it's wrong to like Universes Beyond. I want Magic the Gathering to be Magic the Gathering High Fantasy. But what I want has been overruled. It will not be the reality. So when it comes to Universe Beyond stuff that they make that I like, I want it. I want it. It's that simple. Whatever. What I fully want will never be a reality. And me not getting Magic cards is not going to stop Wizards' direction. It's not going to change anything. And I'm not going to diminish my own enjoyment of things by denying myself things that I actually enjoy, right? So there are some people whose position is, you need to quit, you need to not get anything, and send them a message. And that's fine if that's how you feel. But the truth is, it's not going to stop what they're doing. They're not going to reverse course. None of that's going to happen. The Universe Beyond is going to become pretty much 100% of what Magic is. So you can decide you don't want to engage with it. You can decide you want to engage with it on a certain level. Everybody's got to make their own choice. I have multiple Universe Beyond secret layers that I like. I have the Monty Python one, which is dope. The Princess Bride one, I wish I had. I don't. It's sweet. I've got the Evil Dead. When it comes to Final Fantasy, I was just like, it's so weird to me that they're putting Final Fantasy into Magic. But at the same time, when I saw the Kefka artwork of him poisoning the waters of Doma or whatever, like, this is awesome. This artwork is awesome. This is an awesome moment in a game I love, and I absolutely want it. So I'm going to engage with Magic for as long as I'm still enjoying myself. If I'm not having fun playing and the cards and flavor don't resonate with me anymore, then I'm done. Then I'm done. It's that simple. It's that simple, you know? So yeah, I mean, it's not a simple answer scenario. Everybody has to make their own choices. And I don't know if there's going to come a point where I just decide that it's not for me anymore. So I don't blame anybody who says that they're done with it, but I also don't listen to anybody who tries to go, you have to stop. No, I'm going to do what I want, and I'm not going to listen to you. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I want. And you can think whatever you want about me, and I will continue to do what I want. I'm going to engage with the reality that exists. It's that simple. So I still enjoy playing Magic, and Magic cards that I like, even if they aren't the exact genre that I want the cards. It's that simple. It's that simple. A Magic boycott will never work. The only time that people have spoken with a unified voice was on Magic 30. And that was only because Wizards got insanely greedy with it. If they hadn't gone for such big air with the price point, they would have 100% succeeded with that product. 100%. Even though it was poor quality, even though it was breaking their promise for the reserve list, and even though they were gold-backed cards, if they had been $10 a pack, the people's computers would have exploded trying to order them. $25 a pack, they would have gotten away with it with no complaints. $50 a pack, they probably still would have got away with it, but there'd be a fair bit of grumbling. But at $250 a pack, they were crackheaded. They genuinely thought that this was going to be a big thing. They touted it to their shareholders and stuff. So Magic is Magic, man. You're never going to get the same reaction that you get from D&D players where they unified. They made Wizards bow down. It's going to take something on the Magic 30 level to make everybody blah, blah, blah. And Universe Beyond ain't ever going to be that. It ain't ever going to be that. Universe Beyond is just going to cause a slow attrition to the game where they're not going to have the same strength of people coming in. People would come in for the high fantasy and stay for the high fantasy set after set after set. Now you'll join for Final Fantasy. But then the next set comes along and you're just like, Marvel? I don't actually really care about Marvel. I guess maybe I'll get some cards to go with my Final Fantasy stuff. And then a Scooby-Doo set comes along. And you're just like, Scooby-Doo? Nah, I'm Scooby-Done. And then they just walk away. Because they don't care. They're not that connected to the game. Like, Wizards built up a passionate and franchised player base. Look at me, for example. I've been messing with Magic for 30 years, bro. And even now with all these changes, I'm still hanging on, right? My love has been battered with an iron pipe, but it still exists. So, but new people coming into the game aren't going to be connected the same way, right? You just got to decide what's going to make you happy and roll with it. Habanero, when your girlfriend wants packs, you'll buy her some, and if you're really in the mood, you might buy one pack to enjoy it with her. It's a minor fun expense, but you're done buying products just for you. Fair enough? Fair enough? I mean, for me, the reality is, when I looked at the Marvel cards, my first reaction is it feels weird to see Marvel stuff on Magic cards. Feels weird. But when I actually sat down and talked about the cards and the ability, I still enjoyed pulling apart how the cards function mechanically in terms of the character, what the character's abilities are, and how those tie into the abilities of the cards. So, like, Universe Beyond isn't completely bereft of things that can make me enjoy myself. Does that make sense? You follow what I'm saying? Millmaster says, y'all gonna let this man tug it for free this long? Millmaster, double Borden. Thanks for the super chat, big boy. Are we gonna start doing burn parties? Well, what would that do, Ness? Explain to me what any kind of burn party would do. I don't understand the purpose of that. Burning cards to say that you're unhappy? So you bought a company's product and then burned it? What do they care? Do you think that Wizards of the Coast cares if you play with the cards or roll them into a tube and jam them up your ass? Do you know what I mean? Like, they just want the money. They just want the money. So you're still buying their product, right? I feel like not buying their product makes more of an impact than buying it and burning it. It's like, I'm going to burn what I already have. Okay, but you already paid for that. Like, what does that do? What does that accomplish? I don't understand what that would actually, like, help with. You know what I mean? Am I missing something? Habanero Super Chat says, no, Millmaster. Why do you ask? Oh, we got a new Lord of the Board, big boy. Habanero. Thanks for the Super Chat, bro. You know what? I'm gonna keep one of the M's that was already there and repurpose it. You get to steal Millmaster's M. Cranky, your friends playing Commander on the weekend, the only thing that keeps you in Magic. That makes sense. You're playing with your friends. That keeps you in. Shelton, you wish you were Scooby done at this point, but they keep making stuff you want. Ask yourself the question, if they stop making stuff that you wanted altogether, would you be happier? For real? You know what I mean? Like, I make the jokes like the Brokeback Mountain, I wish I could quit you, but I don't want to not enjoy Magic anymore. Magic has been in my life for a very long time, and there are different phases of my life that are connected to different like eras in Magic, for real. Like, I remember when I moved to Toronto and I think about the sets from that era and the new people that I met. Like, I went to Toronto. My girlfriend at the time moved to Toronto first, and then I went up there to live with her. And the first day that I was there, when we were settling her into her place, because I wasn't living there for the first, she went up for like a month or two before I did, but I helped get her like moved in and everything. And the first day that I was there, I was like, yo, I'm going to go find the nearest grocery store. And I went out looking for a grocery store, and I'm standing there on the corner, And my brain is just like fixated on this one building across the street. And I'm like, why am I staring at this building? And it's because subconsciously I had noticed this little blue banner. It's the old school Magic banner. It was up in this window and I'm like, there's a game store over there. So I went across the street and it was like, I had to like completely canvass the whole area to even find the way into the building. So I found my way in and then I was there for hours. And so I came back and she was like, where's the grocery store? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I left to do. Sorry, I found a magic shop. And I spent hours there. And so I went to a bunch of different magic shops there and made friends. Like magic has been a huge part of my life. It is a very, very special thing to me, you know? Ness, it supposedly make cards worth more in the long run. Oh, okay. I can see, I suppose, the logic in that by trying to decrease the supply of cards. But if you don't even know the details of the print runs, how much does that actually accomplish, right? How much does that accomplish? So yeah, I wish Magic was something different than it is, but I never really want to reach the point where I'm not happy with the game anymore and don't want to have anything to do with it. I mean, I still play Arena every day. I love playing Magic. I'm going down to the LGS tomorrow. I'm deciding whether I'm going to bring my cube with me tomorrow or not, but I'm literally going down to the LGS tomorrow. Zircon, you're unable to keep up with constant releases. You felt like you never get to dig in and enjoy a set before no one cares about it anymore. That is reasonable. Stopping has removed the stress and made life better. All right. Fair enough. I can respect that. Utah, people can make a new format and make it popular enough. Wizards eventually recognizes it. Yeah, but then they'll look at what happened to them recognizing Commander. Them recognizing Commander damaged the entirety of Magic the Gathering on every single level. It's part of the reason that Standard collapsed so hard. They literally stopped making products to support Commander and went, everything's casual Commander. And then they went ham on it and went, wait, you're supposed to still buy all the Standard products and stuff. What happened? And it's like, what are you talking about? Well, no, everybody's on Arena and they're not spending nearly as much money. Yeah, because you completely collapse the Standard environment. A new player can't physically walk in and get started in Standard. Yeah, they can. They can just buy Commander decks. Or if you want to build a Standard deck, then you just got to open packs and chase singles. What? People aren't doing that? So, creating a new format. How long did it take for Commander to catch on? You think people are going to stick in for a decade? Yeah, we finally got it going. And now Wizard steps up and is like, excellent. How do we ruin this with crazy monetization and power creep and breaking it, right? Like, Habanero Wizards just released their 5.5 edition D&D Player's Handbook and Dungeon Master's Guide and Monster Manual is about to be released, and the books are great? Huh. I wonder if it's because D&D players pushed back so hard when they tried to change the open gaming license, and Wizards realized that the D&D customers can't be taken advantage of to the same degree, although they do have their own problems. There was the changeover. I don't remember what the software is called, but it's where you store a bunch of your D&D information, your spells and all this stuff, and they just changed it for 5th edition or something like that, and then all of a sudden you couldn't use your 4th edition stuff. And they didn't give you any ability to carry it over or anything like that. They're like, but you can type it all in by hand as a custom thing, and it's like, you guys sold them this stuff, and now you won't let them carry it over? Like, that's a bad taste, man. That's a bad taste. Meat, you hate digital Magic? Well, there's certain things I like about Arena and certain things I don't like. I like physically playing Magic the best. Sitting down with people and playing Magic, nothing else compares to it. The digital version is not the same. It isn't. When I went to the recent Command Fest and I got to sit down with some random fans, that was sweet. They just came up to me and were like, hey man, I can't believe you're here. Will you sign this for me? And I said, sure. I'm like, sit down, play some Cube with me. And so the people that played Cube with me were like, this is amazing, bro. The one guy literally dragged the game out. He had the win, and he was enjoying the Cube so much that he's like, let's just, I don't want to win. I don't want to kill you because I don't want the game to end. So he let it keep going. And then I turned the game around and pounded him down. But yeah, the Cube is awesome. Playing Magic with people is way better. Playing on Arena makes people feel like they're the AI. But it is Magic on demand. So I can't play Magic with my friends at 2 a.m, right? That's not going to happen most cases. I mean, we used to. When I lived in Toronto and I came down to visit for the weekends, we would play Cube all weekend, late into the night. I would go to the game store on Friday night for Friday Night Magic, and then me and the boys would go back to somebody's place, wherever, and then we would just play Cube like all night, late into the night, and we'd do it Friday night, Saturday night, and then Sunday I had to leave. So, but we crammed as much as we could in, and I loved it. So, Arena also costs nothing, and you get to see some big, beautiful artwork and stuff like that you don't actually get to see. Like, they have artwork on Arena that you don't see elsewhere. So, Arena is inferior to Paper Magic, but it does have things that I like, you know? Millmaster, Thaco was terrible. I loved 2nd edition, but Thaco is terrible. Thaco is terrible. It's no good. If you ever saw me at a convention, you'd ask if I wanted to play Dan. I would have you arrested and removed from the building. I would just be like, this man is a threat. He needs to be removed. He needs to be removed from the building. So yeah, I don't fault anybody who doesn't like Arena. That's fine. That's a valid choice. But I like it for some things. I refuse to spend money on it. I am a free-to-play player. I have a ton of stuff on it, right? Like, I'm coming close to having 600,000 gold. I've got 13-player draft tokens. I've got hundreds and hundreds of wild cards, about 350 unopened boosters on there. Like, my account is loaded down. It's fun, but not nearly as fun as playing Magic in real life with people. They brought Thaco back? For real? Farky, if a fan asks me to sign loot, will I do it? I've already signed multiple loots. I hate loot, and I think he's stupid, but yeah, I'll sign it for the meme. Whatever. I haven't refused to sign any cards, playmats, or anything like that. Even the guy who... I went to a Magic event, and this one guy was super excited to see me. He's like, I can't believe you're here. This is awesome. And another guy who was his friend didn't care at all that I was there. And he's like, you're here. Does that mean that Tolarian will come? And I'm like, no, bro. If he was going to be here, it would have already been announced. He would already be here. There's no chance he's coming to this event. Like, he would have been here yesterday already, and they would have it plastered up, okay? And then he was just like, I don't know. I think he might come. And then I was just like, he's not going to come, motherfucker. I'm the best you're going to get. I'm the best you're going to get, right? And I'm like, I know it's disappointing, but I'm the best you're going to get here today. That's it. I'm the biggest YouTuber you're going to see here today. I wasn't actually officially part of the event. I just showed up because I wanted to go to the event. And there were other Magic YouTubers there who are officially a part of the event, but my channel was the biggest out of everybody who was there. So I told them, nobody bigger than me is going to be here. Sorry to disappoint you. And when that guy came back later and was like, can you sign this playmat for my brother? The guy who didn't care that I was there and hoped the Tolarian would be there. He's like, will you sign my playmat for my brother or whatever? And I was like, sure. And I signed it. Sorry for not being Tolarian. Like whatever. I don't take it personally. I don't care if somebody wants a signature. Sure. Why not? I like chatting with people. I like having a good time, and I can laugh at myself. What the hell do I care, right? Everybody's got different preferences. There's people you'll be excited to see and people you're indifferent to. Everybody's different, and I've got a polarizing personality. So some people love me, some people hate me, and some people are indifferent. But a lot of people fall into one of the two categories because I don't leave a lot of middle ground. Why is Lute the worst character? Because he's clearly just like an amalgam of terrible marketing. Like, how do we make our own stupid, goofy Pokemon? He doesn't fit into the Magic aesthetic. They forced him as, he's the key to everything. He's in the vault. He's the only thing in the vault. Then why do you have 60 cards in the big score that were all in the vault? Why are some of them random dudes from the middle of Ixalan? Why are some Ixalan dinosaurs? Like, it was just a bunch of slush art crammed into the big score, which they said is all the loot that's inside the vault. But when they go inside the vault, it's just loot. And we're supposed to care because there's a tear-jerking story about how Jason Vraska can't conceive. Who cares? Who cares that you can't get a fucking Gorgon pregnant? This is brain-damaged idiocy. And then they're like, Lute will be our adopted kid. And you're just like, you're abducting him. No, he likes it. What? Yeah, but you don't even care about him for real. It's not even about, we always wanted to have a kid, we can finally have a kid. It's, well, actually, we can use him as a planeswalking map and also to reset the universe. And none of that means anything. It's all just a bunch of tacked on crap. The artwork for Jace turning into Ashiok is literally artwork from the Phyrexian arc where Jace is being Ashiok to torment Norn. And then they just scrubbed the tentacles out of the artwork. They screwed up and put it on Arena with the actual Phyrexian tentacles coming off him. Jace was never supposed to be Ashiok masquerading as part of Thunder Junction. That was never part of the original Thunder Junction story. They shoved that in to use slush art. That's the only reason. So Lute is just an extension of that lazy garbage storytelling. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So yeah, Lute triggers me, man. Lute triggers me. They just take Lute out of the vault, and then Kellen abruptly develops the ability to dominate creatures, and then he sits there dominating a Cool, who is the murderous leader of bandits. He is like a high-level murderer who's killed a ton of people, and then Kellen's just like, I've got him under my sway. Do I have the right to take a life? Bitch, the first time we saw you, we watched you bull rush a witch into a fucking pot. We have watched you slaughter a ton of vampires, cutting them apart in midair. Those were once humans. Those were once humans. And you had no moral quandaries. But now, after we've watched you slaughter people across multiple sets, you're going to have this moral dilemma about a murderous monster? It's not even a human, bro. You've killed literal humans. You've killed humans who've been turned into monsters. And now you're like, do I have the right to take a life? It's as crackheaded as playing Super Mario Brothers. And the whole first level, you're jumping on Goombas and whatever. The second level, you're jumping on Goombas and Koopa Troopas. And then you get to the third level, and all of a sudden Mario's just like looking at a Goomba. I can't jump on it. Do I have the right to take a life? What are you talking about? Right? Like, the Thunder Junction story was so stupid and flimsy and aggravating. Everybody's in wooden rickety houses and everybody wears cowboy hats and has dusters. Why? Why? Do you have a story reason for any of this? No, we don't. But also, guess what? There's a giant concrete metroplex. Sorry, what? Yeah, there's a giant concrete building that has tons of other buildings in it. Okay. And it has a really high-tech elevator. What? Yeah, and Kaido goes in and he uses a key card. What? Yeah, and then he goes up to the top floor, and then there's Catherine Zeta-Jones level red tripwires. What are you talking about? And then Obeka's there, and you know how she has time magic? So Obeka uses her time magic to craft an illusion of a room. That's illusion magic, you dickhead! Shut up. So yeah, Obeka has time magic. So then Nashi steals the potion from Obeka, but then Obeka just goes, I've got time magic, and rewinds time and puts the potion back in her hand. So then Nashi goes back to his home and is like, oh, I'm just going to reprogram my drones. Thanks, Obeka. Now I'm going to reprogram my drones to have different magic in them. And then Nashi shows back up to Obeka and goes, ha, I just dropped my invisibility magic. And then I scroll back through the story because I'm like, where did it say he turned himself invisible? It didn't. It didn't. He didn't. They didn't tell us. He didn't turn himself invisible. And then he turns himself uninvisible when he didn't turn himself invisible. And then his drones fly around and he's like, thanks for teaching me illusion, whatever, Obeka. And then he steals the potion and Obeka just doesn't reverse time. Obeka can reverse time at any time she wants and get the potion back, but she just doesn't. And then Tamio goes, you did it, Nashi, you won. You won. And then Nashi leaves Thunder Junction forever. Like, I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. It sounds like a fucking fever dream that I've made up. That's what happened. That's what happened. Oh. Royal says dust animus, a dust cloud has a cowboy hat. Bro, a steam elemental. A steam elemental flying above Ravnica. It's Ravnica slush art. It's a steam elemental from Ravnica. It's slush art. Because they're putting it in Markov Manor, they painted a detective hat on it. Like, it's ridiculous. Millmaster says the story is we need money. That's funny. That's funny. Sargon says that's because the writers from Fiverr haven't even read the previous segments of the same set, let alone the old set lore. Yeah, you're right. You are right. That is correct. 100%. 100%. Spurl, you'll salty what they did to Lily? Yeah, I know, right? Liliana is this evil necromancer who's interested in her own power and infinite youth and all of that. She makes deals with a bunch of demons. And then they go, no, Liliana's like a good person and she feels bad about what happened to Gideon and she's racked with guilt and like, oh, she's just a good girl now. And it's like, is there a story reason for that? No, it's just marketing, you know, lady power. Oh, would you care to give us an actual story reason? No, shut up. And then she became really boring. And it's like, Liliana is a villain, bro. She's a villain. No, she's a real good girl. She's like Katy Perry igniting her fireworks and own the night and stuff. Uh-huh. At least in Foundations, they give us Liliana as she should be. Hoisted above a huge horde of undead on one of those palanquins, right? Oh, shit. We got the box of rats. I almost forgot. About the box of rats. Where's my Botana? Where's my Botana? Let's see what's in the box of rats. You guys ready to find out if these rats are still alive? You ready to find out if these rats are still alive? This box is heavy, boy. It is heavy. It is heavy. It's a box in a box. Okay. Inside is another box. How are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? I guess I need a little more space. A little more space here. Maybe if I put this box on its side. Maybe I shouldn't have put this on a rickety table, huh? Okay. A box in a box. Take that, Nicol Bolas. Which way is up? I'm going to say this way is up. Ah. Okay. Oh, there it is. I'm like, where did I put that knife, man? Where did I put that knife? I'm guessing these rats are, I'm guessing these rats are probably dead. This is pretty well sealed, right? Pretty well sealed. Watch there be another box. It's just like Russian nesting boxes. Oh, yo, this is here ahead of schedule. This is here ahead of schedule. Nice. All right, check it out. It is another box inside. Oh, it is. It is an air fryer to replace the broken air fryer that me and Carly have. This is the same model that we were already using. This thing is fucking dope, man. I never cared about air fryers. People would be like, you only need to use a drop of oil. And I was like, I don't care. I'm not worried about the health concerns and whatever else, like the amount of oil that I'm using. None of that. So they were trying to pitch the wrong concept to me. I didn't know that you can cook food faster, so it costs less money to do it in one of these. And you can cook like sausages, steaks, all kinds of stuff in here. And they are super juicy. And like, honestly, stuff cooked in this is fucking amazing. Carly knows how to make fantastic food using one of these. And this wasn't supposed to show up until like next month, right? So this is early. Yeah, Zircon, exactly. It's early. It's early. Teferi, yeah, the air fryer broke. I mean, we used it every day for multiple meals for years and years. So it's great. Death, you literally just bought the exact same like 4 days ago. Well, if you've never had it, it is fantastic. So this is super awesome. I'm not obviously going to open this any further. You can see the picture. There's no need to open the actual box and take it out on stream. And this explains why it was so heavy. Getting this back home from the post office was, I wouldn't call it an ordeal, but it was definitely a workout. And I had to stop multiple times and rest the box against like a telephone pole while I stood there letting my arms get a little bit of a breather, because this boy is heavy. And I suspect that it might have been the air fryer, because I remember the air fryer being pretty heavy. So this is awesome. It's super, super good. If you've never gotten an air fryer, they're absolutely worth having. All right? So, you know what? That's good. What? Oh yeah, it's on the other box. I'm like, what happened to the part where I said live? I wrote live rats on the box. Where'd they go? Where did it go? It doesn't say that anymore. All right. Just confuse people who come in late. Just be like, why does he have a box of dead rats? Oh yeah! Well, I know who sent this. Zircon, thanks, buddy! Thanks for the hookup, man. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. For real. Like, I didn't know how much air fryers would become like a necessity to me. I don't care about having a microwave, but I absolutely care about having an air fryer. Uses electricity and is faster than an oven. It's not better than an oven in every regard, but it beats an oven in a lot of ways, to the point where I consider an air fryer a pretty much indispensable appliance. And having ours break down was extremely disappointing. So this is fantastic. This is absolutely fantastic. So yeah. Dead rats. Oh man. That's awesome. Bo Falcon says, the rats have been cooked. Who wants rat on a stick, bro? Oh, man. So, if you haven't already checked it out, I am very pleased with and trying to grow my movie review channel. So, there's the link to the movie review channel, and here is a little taste of what you get. Absolutely wonderful.
Fantastic job.
How do you enjoy garbage like that? It sucks so hard. What's next, Carly?
The almost birthday boy.
What? This is what you're afraid of? Phone ringing. There's a phone ringing and an old piano and nothing else. Here's a noose, buddy, if you want to get out of it. Yeah. Yeah. Get you some. Go subscribe to that shit. Don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch. Thompson, you got a Commander rat deck? Well, guess what? I got a box of dead rats, son. I got a box of dead rats. Man, it's like perfect out tonight, honestly. I went out for a walk a little before the stream. And it's autumn, but it's not too cold. And it's raining, but like it's not super cold raining. It's like the perfect level. I really enjoyed being out in it. I enjoy the rain. I enjoy the rain quite a bit. Oh, man. I'm super stoked to have a functioning air fryer again. Carly's going to be very pleased as well. She was happy when I told her that one was on the way. So, pop, pop, pop. Hell yeah, man. Jess, imagine if that box was all food. Yeah, yeah, that would have been a ridiculous amount of food. I've still got a bunch of the stuff that Bo Falcon sent. Guess we could try something from that right now, actually. I guess we could try something from what he sent. Where did I put the box with the stuff to try? Is it behind me? Bo Falcon just got a couple artworks from Donato. Got to support the genuine artists who deserve it. Good man. Good man, bro. Ah, here's the stuff. You know what? Let's try cookies made by a Canadian company that are sent to America. I've never seen a box like this in the stores here. So I'm wondering if these taste the same as the ones we get here, or if there's like a different recipe they send to you guys. Dragon Raider, you still need to check out that RoboCop video. Hell yeah, you do, buddy. Hell yeah. Hold on, I'll grab the link. I'll grab the link. You want the RoboCop video? It is right here. Zircon, imagine it was a case full of Flavacol. Bro, I love Flavacol. I would have no problem with that. I would have no problem with that. Flavacol has been a game changer. And it's funny that you bring it up because I was thinking about how I would sometimes go by the movie theater when we weren't going to see a movie. And I'd be like, I'm going to go in and pay their exorbitant prices for popcorn because you can't get that same popcorn at home, you know? Literally can't get that like same flavor at home. Can't get that at all. And Flavacol was the key. And now I can make that popcorn at home. And I actually have a tub of it out on the living room table waiting. I made some popcorn for tonight. I don't know what movie we're gonna watch, but I've got the Flavacol ready. All right, let's try maple cookies made with real Canadian maple syrup. Freelance, I am not familiar off the top of my head with Lucas Graciano, but it's cool that a magic artist is teaching your friend. Some of these cookies have taken a bit of a beating, but that's all right, because I'm going to do a bit of eating. Oh, it smells delicious. I love maple cookies, bro. They also remind me of church. Like when I was a kid and my mom would take me to church, and I didn't care about going to church. The only reason I wanted to go was because they had tables with cookies on them. So after you were done all the stuff, you could have some free cookie action. And I wasn't really allowed to have cookies very frequently, so wow. Okay. Look at the picture and look at how cream-filled they are. And then look at this. Look at how, like, they're so full. And then here, stinge bagging, bro. They're stinging my bag. These taste the same. I guess there's no difference. Both Falcon brands that make two different ways to shelve their products you really like. It's not easy to fit products on the shelf one way, but having options is nice. Oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, right? Because you you have to deal with stocking the shelves and figuring out the calibrations and everything. That's an aspect of it I never considered. Thanks for sending these out, by the way. Yeah, it was pretty good. And it's been a while. It's been a while since I've had maple cookies too, so this is hitting the spot. Fisher, you got to print a shame into the pack and get you hyped every time I see it. It's got good artwork, bro. Dragon, that's why you always try and catch my streams. You never know what subject I'll be on. We do range all over the place, bro. What up, DJ Longhair? You're trying to catch up, but my video's 30 minutes long. It is a long one. There was a lot to talk about. What's up, buddy? Pretty good. I give this a thumbs up, man. Absolutely. That's sweet. Dragon, I keep it fresh and real. Well, thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Oh, this has been a pretty good day. I got a bunch of work done on my Grand Archive Ascent video as well, which is like the Grand Archive Ascent experience. It's still going to take a lot more work to finish because there's so many different like moving parts, so many different clips, and I have interviews with half a dozen or more people talking about the game. So that part is going to be, I've never like staggered a bunch of interviews together. So I've got a couple of different ideas about how I'm going to approach that. And I just need to, well, I got to get to that part in the video. Right now I'm putting in the clips of, I don't know what you put in a blog video. So I have like a clip of me going from my hotel room to the elevator because I was just impressed with how close I was to the elevator. There were a couple of guys in jean vests who were totally going to some wild party, and they had cases of booze or whatever. And then when we got to the elevator, we were talking in the elevator, and then I walked 2 steps to get to my door, and they're like, "What? You got a room right here? It's room. We should just party in his room." And I'm like, "Yeah, come on." I mean, we didn't do it, but it was like, "Hey, you guys got boxes of booze. Let's do this. Let's do this." Fisher, for a future gift, what's my favorite card artwork from Dan Scott? I will look. Hold on. Let me make a note to look because off the top of my head, I don't know. But I will take a look and let you know. And you let me know when you're going to send the box out because Canada Post might be going on strike. So they might be going on strike half an hour from now. It might start, which can cause some serious postal delays. So they're Shelton sent out a box recently and we had it sent to a FedEx drop-off location. So I can give you that address to send it to instead. And then that way we can make sure that we avoid any kind of postal issues. Anything that's already in the mail will get delivered. It will show up at my P.O. box and whatever. I'm not worried about not getting it. But in terms of timeliness and avoiding issues, it will be better if we use the FedEx drop-off. And that applies to anybody else who's planning on sending anything in the near future. I don't know if the strike's actually going to happen 100% or how long it's going to go for, but I feel like it's likely. All right, there we go. I made a note, and I'll let you know. I will let you know. Joe Neal, what do you... My life got turned upside down. This is all how I became the Fresh Prince of Magic. Packages sealed was going to ship tomorrow? Oh, well then yeah. I'll give you the FedEx location address so you can get that shipped out because we've been waiting forever for this ship, bro. I've been waiting a million Years. Make sure you do that fucking customs declaration correctly, bro. I will message you about that, all right? I will message you about that. I'll give you that address because I don't want to wait. I want to get it sooner rather than later. Zircon, good to know. Indeed. Indeed, bro. Indeed. I mean, it's lucky that this showed up so early, right? So the good news is anything that is in the Postal Service it'll show up. I don't know how the rotating stuff works. I don't know exactly how many people are going to be on strike, but for how long or whatever. So I'm friendly with the people at the post office. So I was like, I hope this goes easy for you guys. I hope you get what you're looking for. I hope you don't end up not having to work and doing all this stuff. I hope everything goes smooth. But ultimately, I expect to get a notification in like half an hour, like by email saying, Canada Post is on strike. I already got contacted by my bank saying, Canada Post is going on strike. So if you're expecting to get checks in the mail or anything else like that, or if you're sending us stuff, be warned. But I'm not too worried about that. Spurl, is Canada Postal Service privately owned? No, it's a crown corporation owned by the government. I'm not 100% sure of what the dispute is, but I believe it's because the government wants to turn delivery service into a 7 days a week thing, and they're trying to compete more with the like private company price structures and stuff like that. But I will also admit that I'm not really that up to speed on it. I only heard about it like a couple days ago when I was down at the post office picking up a box, and the chick was like, we might be closed on Friday. And I was like, really? Why? And it's like, we might be on strike. So I don't know that much ultimately, but I do know that there are workarounds. There are like, used to be able to get UPS drop-offs, but UPS isn't doing that anymore. So now it's FedEx. FedEx is the way. So I will, Fisher, I'll send you the information tonight. That way, if you want to do it tomorrow, and you should do it tomorrow, then you'll have everything you need. Ball Falcon, I got to look at all the artworks to know. I got to look at all the artworks to know. I can't say which one I like best if I haven't looked at them, you know? Fisher, if you could open portals, then you would have your own delivery service that would decimate everything else, right? Jess, are you having a stroke? What the hell is that nonsense? What is that gibberish, bro? That cookie was good. I can eat as many as I want, too. I'm exercising enough that I can eat whatever I want now, and I'm still losing weight. It's great. It's great. It's going to be weird when I get down to the weight that I want and realize I have to eat more, because if I keep up the habits that I'm going with, I will continue to lose weight. Spurl, you can't imagine if the United States Postal Service went on strike. It is pretty wild. It is pretty wild. I mean, I presume that the reason they're doing this is they want to use the whole timing of it because Christmas is coming up. So they can use that to add pressure. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how it works with the post office box too. I don't know if like I'm just out. Then if they're on strike, if I'm out those number of days, it's like, you guys were closed and I couldn't get my stuff. And it's like, yep. And we don't compensate you for that at all. It's like, but I got my box for a year. What the hell? So whatever. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's why I noted down that FedEx information, so that if somebody wants to send something, they can just send it that way, and then I can go to that location and pick it up. Because it worked last time, so works for me. But that's crazy as well. Like the FedEx drop-off location is like 5 different like postal services or something. So it's strange. It makes me feel like an old man. I'm just like, this is different. Millmaster, you bought 75 pounds of flour today? Good Lord. What the hell are you doing? Having flour fights? Is that how you make it look like Christmas around your house? You just spread flour everywhere? What up, huge? Super late, but wanted to say what's good. Life, bro. Life is good. I got a box of dead rats, some maple cookies. I get to go down to the LGS tomorrow. Life is pretty solid. Hey, you know what? I wonder if the camera is... Oh, it is. Let's see what's inside this little... We opened one yesterday and got that Groot I dropped into my water. Let's open this up and see what's in here. What the hell? Who's this? Guys, who the hell is this? They're weird little suction cup guys. Who is this? Who the hell is this? The little suction cup boys. There you go. He can't fall in my water if he's on the side, right? Oh, he's sticking on real good. Is this Falcon? Is this his color scheme? Is that his color scheme in the movies though? I've only seen him in the movies. I've never seen Falcon in an actual comic book, so there you go. Somebody was giving these out for Halloween. They were their Halloween treats. Which is actually a fun little idea. Little mini toys. Oh, I can see. Yeah, he's got little wings. He's got little wings, so... Falcon vibe. DJ Longhair, it's the OG, not movie. Okay. Well, that makes sense to me. Oh, he sticks pretty well to the keyboard. I could put him and Groot on this little part of the keyboard. Christ Super Chat says, artists, original art, please, no steal. Wizards of the Coast, lol, noobs. Yeah, pretty much. OC, do not steal. Wizards is just like, eat it. Oh, gotta laugh, because otherwise you just end up getting real mad, right? Alright, yeah, these are goofy. I'm getting a little bit of amusement out of it. Maybe it'll stick on the table here. Nope. Not at all. Does he stick to my microphone? Oh yeah, he sticks pretty good. He's stuck on the side of my mic now. What about on here? Kinda. Oh, what about the board? Oh, there you go. He's looking down on you, Habanero. He's the new lord of the board. DJ Longhair, you're watching Apocalypse Z? What is that? I presume it's a zombie movie, right? Oh, wow. It sticks on that really good. He's just up there. Wop, 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 wop. Oh! Man down! What about on the metal? Does he stick on here pretty well? Oop. Yup, okay. There you go. He's just hanging out. He's hanging out with Bolus and Ashiok. It just looked like the board had a pimple. Is that the Brad Pitt zombie movie? Isn't that World War Z? I feel like that's World War Z. It's still raining out there. Probably be good to go for a walk. Oh, well. It's too late for that. It's too late. Especially since me and Carly be watching a movie tonight. Be watching a movie. She's gotten to the point now where she keeps notebooks with her while we're watching the movie so she can make notes in case we talk about any particular movie in a video. Checked, where did I get this calendar? This is a 1996 Magic the Gathering calendar. Carl sent me this, and it just so happens that this year it actually matches up with the current dates. So, for example, today is Thursday the 14th, right? And this Thursday the 14th right there on the calendar. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. So, yeah. You need a time machine to get one of these calendars, or I guess just go on eBay. One or the other. One or the other. It's pretty sweet. Got Sword of the Meek from Ice Age on there. It's pretty sweet having like all these different pieces of Magic the Gathering history, bro. I love it. And people find pieces that I've never seen before and hook me up. I'd never seen this before. And he sent out an awesome Richard Kane Ferguson poster of the Elder Druid from Ice Age. But, like, not the artwork on the card. The different promotional artwork that's used on, like, these special posters. And you don't really come across them very often. It's a more unique one. Joe Neal, it's raining kind of hard where you are. It hasn't been raining. It hasn't been raining too hard here. It's been raining. Fisher, you threw in a box of random cards that might be cube worthy. A few good gems to be sure. Right on. Do I have your email address, or are you just on the Facebook? I feel like I think it's just the Facebook, isn't it? Because, yeah, I'll send over that address tonight. Yeah, that's great. Fisher, perfect. Send me your email now, and then I can email you back my answer about the Dan Scott art, and as well as the FedEx drop-off location that you can send it to. Obviously, you need to send it through FedEx to get it there. And then just let me know when the projected when the projected date of delivery is or whatever, so then I'll know when to go and get it. Yeah. Checked OG Magic tees are hundreds. It makes sense. Like, it's old niche stuff, and it's not something everybody wants, but the people who want it, and there's just not that many of them kicking around. I don't have any Magic the Gathering t-shirts at all. I have an old Judge shirt, but I don't have, like, any of the... Like, the old arena shirts that had Armageddon clock on the back and all that. I remember those. But there's not a lot of that stuff kicking around. It's not like they were, like, mass-produced and there was a whole ton of them. And then a bunch of them just got destroyed by being worn out or just thrown away over time, the way that people do with clothing, right? Hugh, you still need to email me. All right, buddy. You have something else to share with me? All right, cool. Yeah, I'm always down to get magic news and stuff at themagichistorian@gmail.com, bro. So no worries. You send it when you're ready. You send it when you're ready. Man, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that the air fryer is here. That's dope. And I've beaten up my muscles by carrying that shit. Fisher, you have the Hedron display from the original Zendikar. I had one of those at one point. I don't anymore. They had little, like, light-up desk versions, too, that weren't cardboard, as far as I recall. But those are way rarer. Like, way rarer. All right, my friends. Thanks for coming and hanging out. It has been a good stream. If you have not already checked out my movie review channel, now's your chance. Go check that out. Here's a good reason why. At Hatcher Movie Talks, we pride ourselves on two things. Respecting the fans. No, don't tell us in the comments. Shut up. I don't need to hear if you think I'm wrong. Shut up. And if you don't like it, I don't care. And always being 100% accurate. Yeah, because I don't remember anything from number 3. When you said the hacker kid, I was just like, hacker kid.
In the first one?
Yeah, that was the first one. Right?
I honestly don't know.
Okay. Hatcher Movie Talks. Subscribe now. You have 20 seconds to comply. Thanks for being here, my friends. Thanks, Zircon, Fisher. Make sure you send me that email, and I will catch all of you guys tomorrow. But for now, into the WOTC as I go.